crafty friends, it's Andrea from Prairie Sky Papercraft, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Manitoba. Today we're using vellum. We're going to be layering it. The pack that I'm going to be using today is the Lovely Layers, which has 4 different patterns. I am going to be using the circle. I've got some Splendid Day Designer Series paper, a piece of mint macaron. So we're going to layer them. This pattern kind of reminded me of the Swirly Bird dies from a few years ago. So I will be using that with Sweet Songbirds. I've got the bird. I'm going to be fussy cutting the nest out. And yeah, let's get started. So I've already got a bird punched or stamped and then punched. I used Memento Black for the eyes, and I stamped her body in soft suede. Now we're going to do the nest. I was going to just use one color, but because sticks are never just one color, I'm just going to layer different browns. I've got soft suede, this is Sahara sand, and crumb cake. And we're just going to layer them. Now this is the first time that I've used this stamp, so I'm going to do a tester piece first. Make sure that it's going to look the way that I want it to look. And then if it doesn't, we're going to prime it up with our Versamark. Sometimes there's a little bit of residue or whatever left over from the manufacturing process. So you want to make sure, yeah, that looks nothing like a nest. So Versamark to the rescue, and then we'll color. So just a few little taps, flip it over. Versamark is a watermark clear ink. It's great for heat embossing and also for letting the ink adhere a little bit more to your stamps. So crumb cake isn't terribly dark, so I'm just going to use that in a few little areas, and then we're going to build up with the darker colors. I'm not being fussy about this at all. I'm just kind of flicking color wherever. And then Sahara sand I've already used. No, I didn't. Oops, wrong end. And I'm using the brush end and also kind of the side of our marker. I think I need a little bit more of the darker. The reason that I just took a breath on my stamp is to rehydrate the ink, because it is water-based and it does dry out fairly quickly, although humidity is super high here today and it's about 12 million degrees in my craft room. Maybe a slight exaggeration, but honestly not by much. So it shouldn't dry out too terribly quickly. All right, I'm going to put my bird back and grab our snips. Put these guys back into the case. Now when you have either blends or markers, you do want to make sure that you're holding them, or storing them I should say, on their side, not vertically, because if you put them vertically there is a chance that they will the ink will pool and it won't be distributed equally among your tips. I usually use the same tip when I'm coloring, but on occasion I do want to use the writing tip. So I want to make sure that they're not, there we go, they're not going to dry out on me. Okay, so we're just going to place the bird's nest. Actually, that could be a little bit more rounded. It's a little, although I guess nests aren't perfect, are they? Okay, so we're going to place that there. Now with vellum, you want to make sure that, ooh, I know what we're going to do. You want to make sure that with your vellum, you've got somewhere that you can place your adhesive. Vellum can be really tricky because it is see-through, so you will see if tape lines. So I like to strategically place things like embellishment or ribbon, punched out, cut out pieces, or even the sentiment strip. I am going to trim this just a little. My page, my card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. My Splendid Day layer is 4 inches by 5 1/4. So this is already cut at 3/4 by 5. I would like it a little bit smaller though, height wise. So I'm just going to trim 1/8 of an inch off of each side. So it's going to end up being 4 3/4. All right, and now we'll start the assembly. I love this designer series paper. Half is shiny and then half is matte. So it makes for really fun design cards. I usually prefer the shiny side just because I like a little bit of bling. Okay, so I'm going to be putting my bird close to the bottom. So I'm going to do 2 strips here. And then you'll be able to see, move that up just a little. There we go. So because this is patterned, it is a little bit harder to see, but depending on how you hold the paper, you can see where the tape lines are. Now I'm going to place our nest, and then I'm just going to put the adhesive at the bottom part. Tuck it. I kind of want it to follow the line a little bit, so the nest won't be perfectly straight. Then I'm going to stick our bird in, but I want our bird to pop up a bit. So I am on the top half, I'm going to stick a dimensional and just a tiny strip of glue at the bottom just to make sure that it doesn't pop out. There we go. So now you can see we've got a little bit of dimension with our card. The bird's poking forward just a tiny little bit. And then I was going to do what I was going to do a sentiment, or punch out the little music notes, or cut out the music notes, but I think I'm going to pass on that. I'm going to do just a little welcome. This could be a really cute welcome to the neighborhood, new home, just something new and fun. And I've got, it's a tiny sentiment, so I'm going to see if it'll fit on this little scrap. Ooh, it does. Perfect. So this is about 1/4 of an inch strip here that I've got. So I'm just going to tap my ink to my sentiment. Okay. And you don't want to push hard. You just want to do a very gentle tap. If you push too hard, you risk getting ink around the edges. And then if that happens, you can oh, that wasn't straight, so we'll try again. You can end up with a halo. All right, try this again. Move over a bit. Straight down, straight up. Clean off. I love the stamps in this set, but they're pretty tiny, so I do put them away pretty much as soon as I'm done with them. Unless I'm creating several. Actually, that's kind of cute, tucked out that way. Or do we want it coming? You know what? We'll have it come out of the bird's mouth. Cover this up before we end up getting ink where we don't want it. And I'm just going to do a little flag here. welcome to the neighborhood, and just a tiny little bit of adhesive right on the very end. And tuck it by the beak. And now I think we need some bling. I just noticed I've got an ink splotch there. So I've been using the champagne dots quite a bit lately. It seems to be my latest obsession. I've kind of given up on the classic matte dots for a little while. So yeah, this is our new thing. Can never go wrong with a little bit of bling. So we're just going to stick them around kind of random. I like odd numbers, so I think I'm going to go with 5. And there you go. Put it back into the container. My cats like to jump up, and sometimes my dog too if I'm sitting outside. They like to jump up onto my desk, so I've gotten into the habit of not putting them in the storage container that I had and just holding them vertically. I've been putting them back into the container too because I've pulled too many blingy things off of too many furry pets. All right, so there's our card for today. Splendid Day Designer Series paper, lovely layers, vellum, our little bird. Actually, I think I might just grab this, and we're just going to do a few flicks of dark with our nest where there's a couple of little lighter breaks. You can totally mix inks together when you're creating. There. That's a little bit better. It was missing something. All right, so now our card's finished. As always, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate your time. I hope you will try out this vellum. It is a lot of fun. And if you're in Canada and would like to shop with me, my link is down below. If you would like to have creative inspiration land in your mailbox, you can click the same social link down at the bottom, and it'll take you to all of the places that you can find me. As always, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon.